I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do and you choke me.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So who gets in the suitcase? The problem is I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information.
Let's talk about what's trending in true crime. Sarah Boone appearing very anxious for the next phase of her court case as she's filed a formal motion with the court asking what attorney is handling her appeal. You'll recall she was convicted of murder after leaving her boyfriend Jorge Torres inside of a suitcase to die. Take a look at the document. Look and notice this time it's not a handwritten motion like we've seen in the past from her. It's all typed up. She signed it there as well. The clerk responded to her saying that attorney Joshua Adams has been appointed to represent her for her appeal, but at this time, no notice of appeal has been filed. Now, Sarah Boone apparently isn't happy. She's saying she's not in the know, asking what's going on, where's her attorney? So let's talk about Sarah Boone and why she hasn't been able to make contact with this attorney yet. First, I want to bring in Court TV digital content producer Lauren Silver to talk about this. Lauren, good morning. Always great to see you. We say you're a resident expert on the Sarah Boone case, as you're always following what she's filing and the moves she's making. So what did you think when you saw this latest motion filed?
I mean, I was shocked it wasn't handwritten. She has beautiful penmanship, and she is known for writing letters. The other part of this motion is that it says that she's filing it pro se, even though she acknowledges in the motion that she has been given an appellate attorney. She correctly names him Joshua Adams and says that I haven't heard from him. So where is my attorney? Well, she answered her own question. She has an attorney. My guess is that she's reached out and hasn't heard back and is frustrated. That is a theme we've certainly seen from her before.
Right. Oh yeah, I said, one of my predictions I made for 2025, Lauren, you know this, I said, oh, we haven't heard the last of Sarah Boone. We're gonna hear her being very vocal from prison. And speaking of, has she moved?
She has. So now she's in the prison system. She had been in the Orange County Jail for over 4 years. This month will be 5 years since George was killed. So she had been in jail for a very long time. She was then moved to the Florida Women's Reception Center, which I take it as sort of like where you go before you get moved to a more permanent area. And now she has been moved to Ocala, Florida, which is a little bit northwest of Orlando. So she has a home for now, at least.
Right, she does, where she can complain. And, you know, the complaining's become kind of thematic with her, Lauren, hasn't it? It seems that she had all those excellent attorneys, all outstanding, highly regarded in the area, and just nobody, was working with her to her standards, so to speak. Does this latest motion kind of make you hearken back to some of those past letters, Lauren?
Absolutely. I mean, the message from Sarah Boone is that she is the priority. She needs to be the priority, and she needs to feel like her attorney is only working for her case. That is not realistic, especially when we're talking about someone who has filed a motion of indigency. So this is a public defender who I imagine has a very large caseload. And to be fair, she was just convicted in December. She hasn't had a very long time for this appeal to sit. So I can't imagine that this is top of the list for the appellate attorney, but I'm sure that she has reached out multiple times, if I know her at all.
Yes. Well said, as always. And my friends at home, check out Lauren's great articles on CourtTV.com. Lauren Silver, we'll have you back very soon to talk about Ms. Boone or one of these other big cases I know. I want to bring in our next guest. I was just mentioning all of those wonderful attorneys. I want to bring in one of them right now, attorney Frank Bankowitz. I'm not sure if he was number 6 or number 7. We lost count. There were so many of them. Frank is standing by to answer some questions for us. Good morning, Frank. Nice to have you back on the show. Do you recall, were you number 6 or 7 for her?
I think I was number 6.
6? Okay. It's been a while. I remember we talked about it, and geez, I think we wound up with 9 and 10 at trial for her. I think that's what we settled on with Sarah Boone. Okay, Frank, I want to ask you about the time frame in Florida, the law, what the law says in terms of the time to file an appeal. Would you kind of walk us through what you have to do when you're a defense attorney in terms of first exhausting certain remedies with the trial court before you proceed to the appellate court?
Well, you can file a motion for new trial, which she did, and that has to be filed within a certain number of days after the jury verdict, and they did that. And then her attorney did file, in spite of what the clerk's office told her, they did file an appeal on the 18th of December, 2024. And that appeal has to be filed within 30 days of the rendition of the judgment and sentence of the court. And it was filed, but I have some questions about whether it was properly filed. The notice of appeal states, notice is hereby given that the defendant, Sarah Boone, appeals to the District Court of Appeals, 9th District of Florida. There is no 9th District in Florida. And there are 6 district courts of appeal, and the one that regulates, so to speak, Orange County is the 6th District Court of Appeals in Lakeland, Florida. So the notice of appeal is improper, improperly stated. It's sent to the wrong court, but there was an appeal filed. Again, irrespective of what the clerk's office, their letter to her stating that Mr. Adams is appointed, however, no notice of appeal was filed. That's incorrect. That letter is dated January 29th.
Whoa, Frank,
and the appeal was dated
big here.
December the 18th.
Yeah. So it would have been within the proper window of time, within that 30-day window, but for, as you've caught,
correct,
it seems to have been improperly filed with this district that doesn't exist. So that would explain why the clerk's office is saying we have no notice on file, but we have your attorney's name. Okay, so a couple questions then, Frank, to follow up.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, what they filed it, technically the notice of appeal has to be filed in the circuit court, which would be Orange County. But a copy goes to the District Court of Appeals, and this has the 9th District. Again, there is no 9th District.
Right, right, as you noted that. So maybe that's perhaps the reason it got lost, or seems to have gotten lost, because from what we can see publicly, it doesn't seem that something was filed, but yet, as you pointed out, just filed in the wrong place. So can this be corrected? I think that's the biggest follow-up question. Is there any way to correct this for Sarah Boone?
Yes, it can be corrected, and an amended notice of appeal can be filed. But again, they filed it in the right court, the circuit court, but not the right district court, let's put it that way. And but yeah, it can be remedied. I'm very surprised that the clerk's office said that there's no notice filed, because I have the what's called e-filing date of December the 18th at 4:58 p.m. On the document itself. So the clerk's office did receive it. So the clerk, whoever sent her that reply, is wrong, basically.
Oh, wow. And we know Sarah Boone is unlikely to let that go, huh, Frank?
Oh, no, she's not going to let that go, not Sarah. And I, in preparation for our meeting today, I tried to reach out to Mr. Adams, but who I know personally, and he's an excellent attorney, and but I was not able to reach him before this morning.
Thank you for that, Frank. Joshua Adams was the name that the clerk gave her. Okay, so you personally know him, and he is very good and has a solid reputation.
Yes, he is, and like every attorney that Ms. Boone had, they're all experienced criminal defense attorneys and or appellate attorneys, which Mr. Adams appears to be there has to be a list of attorneys who will handle certain cases. And they're the ones that handle the circuit court cases, which are the murder cases, ones that handle county court misdemeanors, and then you have appellate lists of attorneys. So, he must be on that appellate list or he would not have been appointed.
Right. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now. But thank you for all of the insight and the legal explanations coming from the great state of Florida where you practice. Attorney Frank Bankowitz, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on the program.